Search comments, hashtag ask Lauren. Okay, I had a lot of caffeine today. I also got my hair did, and we decided to do flat ironing, make it really straight, which I never have it like this. And I told Grant, my hairstylist, he's been doing my hair since I was working in television, he's awesome, that I would plug him. And if you are looking for a hairstylist and you're in Toronto, you could go see him. So it's Grant at Delmonico Salon, Delmonico Hair Studio. It's at Richmond and Spadina in Toronto. So Grant's the man. It's Wednesday, I leave Thursday, it's Friday right now, but I'm pre-taping this and I'm getting it done in time before I go away. Right now I'm in Portland, not here, this is in the past. But I was like, I better get an Ask Lauren done before I go, because I know I have been skipping days from my usual Monday, Wednesday, Friday because I've been so busy and a bunch of stuff's been going on. So I apologize for that, but I'm gonna have some cool vlogs from Portland and my travels in Vancouver and Los Angeles and stuff over the next few weeks. So look out for that. Keep your eyes peeled on the channel, and maybe, just maybe when you're watching this, maybe we've hit 100,000 subscribers. I don't know, like right now we're like very close, but I don't know what it's gonna be when you actually tune in, and it's crazy if it is 100 subscribers. Like I'm gonna have a preemptive celebration right now with you, because maybe then the next time I post it will already be like just over at 100,000. I don't know. I had 2 coffees today. I'm real hyper and I have a fluttery heart and it's not good. Now this is real preemptive, but I did get an email today from Google. They're looking to see if I can host YouTube Fan Fest in Toronto. That would be so fun. So, you know, that's over with the agent, so we'll see what happens. But I would love to do that. Imagine me hosting YouTube Fan Fest. That's crazy talk. Still a lot of vegan questions. I don't know if it's too soon to do more vegan questions. Actually, I like this. This is kind of funny, and this might just take me off into a little bit of a tangent. It's not really a question, but when I did Lauren Chai's mukbang and it was a live stream, a lot of people, or maybe the same person, was asking me to talk about the world and my thoughts on the world. And so here, Brenda Kulkarni said, perhaps it could be an Ask Lauren. You didn't tell us your thoughts on the world. And I thought it was so funny because you're asking me to talk about the world, but you must have something in mind as to what direction you want me to go. And I could go in so many directions with this. My thoughts on the world. How amazing is the world? First of all, the world that we live in is so amazing, really. Like I think that I've always really appreciated and been grateful for how magical life is and how magical the world is and how things work and how magical it is that things work and that we invent things and that we're so progressive and all of this stuff. I think that that's totally incredible. And if nothing else, look at what we've done. And I used to have a little bit of a dire look on the world, like thinking there are more bad people than good people, or like you can't trust people. Like I used to really be about that when I was a lot younger. I think that has to do with the mentality of my parents and how I grew up. I think that influenced me, just like I think my parents have sort of an outlook on the world as to of like you can't trust people, like trust no one, like X-Files, a little bit. And I think it's good to have your like beacon on, and I think it's good to kind of explore things and not trust everything 100%. I do think that a little bit. I wonder if that's just like really ingrained habitual stuff. But I do think that it's good to be critical. I don't think that you should be entirely naive and 1000% accepting of everything that crosses your path. But anyway, I also do practice this mentality of trust the universe and trust what you're given and trust everything that comes your way as something valuable, as something to be learned, as something to be explored more. So if anything, me in this world, I am an explorer and I'm very curious and I want to know how everything works and I want to know why. I'm a very like I keep asking why, but why, but why, but why. That's me. So that's sort of my place in this world. And I think with anything that I start to explore, now more than ever, I listen to my gut and how I feel. And when I meet people for the first time, I get gut feelings. I'm talking about myself. I'm not even talking about the world, but that's kind of the same thing if you think about it. Like, we're all the world. We're all, made of the same energy, even when we think we're so different from one another because you live way over there and you're this race and I live way over here and I'm this race. Ultimately, we are all made of the same stuff and we are all the same and one. And I say that even with still some work to do on that, where like I still notice that I don't believe that sometimes when I put judgment on somebody or I criticize something, I realize, I'm not practicing this thing that I really inherently do believe that we are all the same. And so how can I be more accepting? How can I be more open and loving? Because those aren't things that naturally come to me. Like, honestly, from my whole upbringing and growing up, I sheltered or I blocked myself. Like, I put up a lot of walls, and I think I'm now slowly trying to break down those walls as I get into my 30s. You tell me to talk about the world and what am I even talking about? But anyway, that's sort of my take. Okay, now like with what's going on in the world outside of myself is also fascinating. When we talk a lot about, you ask me a lot of these questions pertaining to vegan lifestyle stuff. And I said recently in a video, maybe even a couple of times, that more and more, and I think by having these conversations to camera and with you guys, I'm becoming so much more open to discussion. Like, I've grown up always being open to hear everybody's viewpoint and not be like super stubborn and not be like, this is the way it should be and not this way. So the point I'm trying to make here is when it comes to like things going on outside of me around the world, whether it be politics, religion, war, food, just sort of anything. Recently, what I'm really trying to focus on is being just okay with whatever is happening. Because in order to live, a fulfilling and peaceful and enjoyable life, the whole point, I think, of living is to let go and stop controlling. And of course, I'm a massive control freak, and if anything, that hinders you because you can't control anything except how you react to things. And the only real good way to react to things is by not being so attached to things. So this is kind of relating to when I talk about veganism and I say, like, just leave everybody alone and let everybody go on their own path and people will figure things out. And yes, be a little bit of a guide along the way. You can be a peaceful guide alongside people and help them and maybe push them in certain directions with ease and sort of peacefulness. But I have a real problem now, and I'm developing more of a aversion to this, with trying to force people to think what I think. Because I would say for a long time in my life as a teenager and this sort of angsty person that has a lot of angst inside them, which I did and do and still do, but I'm trying to sort of not be so angsty because it really hasn't worked out to my benefit. I think there's a time and a place as well for angst and whatever that fiery side of you is. I don't need to be there all the time. And so this mentality of like the way things are right now in the world, to have a negative, really attached outlook onto things and talking about how there's so much injustice. People lately, especially if you get into online conversations on YouTube or forums or social media, everybody's really focused in on injustice, whether it be LGBTQ rights, race, anything. It's all about the injustice and about the inequality and the superiority or whatever. And if I'm going to believe, and I do believe what I kind of know to be true, and it's kind of some of the stuff that Abraham Hicks talks about, and I've talked about Abraham Hicks before, which is Esther Hicks channeling spirit and communicating with us humans from a different plane, from a higher spiritual plane, kind of trying to bring forth what is the truth about our existence in the physical reality. Whoa, that's what they're doing. And I love this stuff. And when I hear it, it makes my cells come alive, and I know that what they are saying is true. So I'm not going to get into a whole big Abraham Hicks thing right now. You can go explore my recommended playlist, which I have on YouTube. There's a lot of Abraham Hicks stuff there. Just put Abraham Hicks into YouTube and you can see. But anyways, what I know to be true and what they say is that to focus on injustice and to focus on inequality and to focus on how unfair everything is, you're only creating more of what you don't want. And I'm really trying to live by the way of what do I want, and trying to find the good in things or the positive aspects of what might be viewed as the most awful thing on the planet. What is the positive aspect of this? And I don't mean positive like, everything's great, But everything has two sides, right? Everything is yin and yang, balance. There has to be the sort of injustice, unfairness in order to have justice and fairness. There has to be. The only way you can know that you want justice and fairness is to have experienced injustice and unfairness. That makes sense. That's pretty logical, right? So there really is no point in trying to fight the system or fight what's actually happening. You are supposed to let go and surrender to what is and what is now. And that makes life easier for yourself, internally and externally. And so I'm not saying that I'm like this 100% of the time, but this is actually what I believe. And I'm not trying to sound preachy or like I don't want to come across like I'm trying to tell you what the right thing to do is, but this is what I know to be true from my own experience and the things that I've been listening to and experiencing in the last number of years, and even looking back on my whole life and realizing, okay, the way I used to be and the mentality and the perspective I used to have really was hard on me and has made things hard on me and has whatever. And now the more I just be, like, it's not even about trying to let go. It's just about stopping the resistance, or like people, in spiritual speak or meditation or any of these things you might be getting in new ageism and stuff, people talk about like surrender, letting go, the art of letting go, attachment, being detached from things. Now, I don't know if like I even believe 1000% that is true, to be completely detached, because some attachment is good. I'm just trying to be more at ease with what's going on. So whether there is a lot of political unrest happening in all kinds of parts of the world, and we can focus in on, well, it's not fair that there are these third world countries and people being treated unfairly all over the world. I'm not saying it's okay and that we should condone sort of like unethical behavior. However, I do have this sort of part of me that's just like, one thing can't exist without the other. And so Abraham says, the world is fine. Everything is taking care of itself. Everything is as it should be. Whether we do become extinct or we do, climate change is happening and maybe we can try to help sustain life here. But like, this is all just part of what is supposed to happen. And that's not to be careless and say, well, fuck it, I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm not saying that, because again, that's that one extreme on one side. And then there's the other extreme on the other side, so I don't even know if I make any sense, but I'm just trying to be more at ease with what's happening, because I can tend to go off into this control freak side or this control attached thing. And when you think about it, that actually doesn't feel good inside. And so what Abraham sort of tells you to practice or says is that base everything you do on how you feel. So if you don't feel good, then you're probably not doing something that's in line with your highest good or your highest self. And if you feel good, then you definitely are in line and you are sort of in that channel and in that space of positivity or of alignment of like doing good for yourself. So you really just have to base that on how you feel. And I know that I don't feel good when I get too attached to things that are out of my control. I get panicky, I get flustered, I get worried, I get scared, and I don't want to be somebody who lives a life of fear and anger and guilt and obligation and all of these things that I view as like quite negative, and they don't make me feel good. Even saying those words don't make me feel good. So I think, if anything, my thoughts on the world are just look at it from a really big, beyond place. Like, I'm just trying to look at the world from like really outside. And when I say that, I don't know if you can visualize this, but I'm really trying to look at it from my highest self. Maybe that's not me right this second, but if you can somehow realize that there is this higher, more all-knowing self of you, which is that energy that you are, if you can sit in that place, whether it be in meditation or even right now while I'm talking, I'm kind of doing it, you'll realize how good it feels to be able to see things from that place. And so if you can view the entire world and everything that's happening in this entire world from that place, you'll have a much more satisfied and easy feeling about the way things are going on this planet. You won't feel so struggled and angsty and everything's not just and that doesn't feel good. Even talking about it doesn't feel good right now. So try to, this is all going back to raise your vibration, elevate your mind, body, and soul, and try to get from that objective, really far away, high place of like looking at things from this higher self. Hope I didn't sound too crazy, but that's my view on the world. That's the place from which I'm trying to exist at this moment and in my life right now, because it feels better than what I've done in the past. And everything I'm saying relates to everything that I do. It relates to the vegan lifestyle and my approach to it. It relates to why I'm even here on YouTube talking to people. It relates to how I exist in my relationship with John and how I deal with my friends and family. And so it's connected to all of everything that I do. So those are my thoughts on the world. I don't know if that answered your question, but I hope that it helped in some way, or maybe now you can look at things a different way. But again, I'm completely open to your thoughts and what you think. And if you think I'm full of crap, or if you are feeling the same way that I feel, but you didn't know how to express it, hopefully this helped. So thanks for listening. And I'm just so happy and excited that this is a place where people are listening to stuff and listening to what I'm saying. And it's not just a floofy, 10 minutes of entertainment all day, although I hope it is entertaining as well, but I also like that it's thoughtful and that people are getting something thoughtful and important from whatever I'm trying to do in my life, which I don't even know what that is. So whatever we're doing, it's translating, and thank you for the exchange of that. And here's to 100,000 subscribers and more to come, and I really appreciate you being here. So thank you, and I'll see you in some vlogs as I am traveling in Portland. I'm going to Vancouver and I'm going to Los Angeles. And make sure you follow Hot for Food on Snapchat, because I'll be snapping stuff, and I'm going to be at Vegan Beer Fest in Portland and Los Angeles, and I'm going to be at VidCon. So just follow me on social media, because there'll be lots of extra little stuff on there as well. And if I do plan on trying to do some type of meetup at VidCon, I'll probably put it on social media, so you'll want to be following me at Lauren Toyota, but Hot for Food on Snapchat. I wouldn't promote it on Snapchat. I'd promote it on Twitter or something. That's it for me. Bye!